Hello, I'm Terry. I'm registered blind, but I have got some slight sight. Now today's task is I have got 4 chairs, all oak chairs, which I want to use in my new room where we'll put a new floor down, but I don't want the wood against the wood to scratch anything. So I'm going to put some sort of rubberized feet on the bottom. Now these feet are tacks. They've got little tacks at the bottom. Now these feet are near enough the same size as the chair legs, which are 15 millimeters. Now if I hammer this straight into the wood, it'll almost certainly damage it, it'll almost certainly split it. So I have to drill a hole in each leg. Now the first thing I have to find out is what size drill I require. Now I can't measure it, I don't know, but it's quite simple to find a drill that would do, and I want to drill a bit that's slightly smaller than the nail, but not too small. If it's too small it will still split the wood, and if it's too big the tack will come straight back out again. So the first thing I do is I tend to narrow it down by feeling, so I can feel the width of the tag and the various drill bits I have until I've narrowed it down to 2 or 3. Then I want it a little bit more accurate, so what I do is I push the tack into a piece of paper or cardboard and make a little hole in it. Once I've made a hole in it, then all I need to do then is push each drill into it. If the drill doesn't go into that hole, then that drill bit is too big. If it goes in, it'll be big enough, but if it wobbles about too much, it's too small. So what I try and do is find the nearest drill I can to the size I want that will go into the hole without wobbling. So what I've done now is I've narrowed it down to 2 possible drills. So my next stage is to get a piece of old scrap wood, and then I drill into the scrap wood, and then I try to put one of these tacks in, and I find out which is the best one that will go in reasonably comfortably, will hold and will not split the wood. So once I've narrowed down what size drill I want, the next thing is to plan on how I'm going to drill the hole right in the centre of these legs. So there's no markings or anything on it, and I can't really measure it. So rummaging around, I have a Dremel, which is like a little craft tool kit with a little motorised handheld machine, which will take various attachments, including the drill, which I'll show you in a minute. And in there I found some discs, and these discs are roughly the same size as my leg, and in the centre of the disc, very handily, a hole. So I was very fortunate, I had something that would fit right over the centre of the leg, and I could make a hole. So I made a hole with a small brad awl. So we're next going on to the next stage. The next stage is I've got to drill the hole. So what I did was I used a smaller drill as a pilot hole. This is to guide the slightly bigger drill into it. Now these legs are splayed slightly outwards. The back legs are more splayed than the front legs. So when I've got my Dremel, which I'm going to show you now with the drill on, it's very difficult to look at it from both angles to see whether I'm actually, because I need to draw right down the middle of the leg. So with the help of my lovely assistant, my wife, I lined it up one way, my wife lined it up the other way, and then with a just drill straight down. So once I've drilled all 4 pilot holes, and I'm quite happy with that, I then get the correct size drill I want. Now what I need to find out is I don't want it too deep either. So what you do is you measure the tack length against the drill, and then what you do is you put a piece tape around it. And this is PVC tape, and you wrap it around the drill to the required depth you require. So once you've wrapped it round and you're happy that you've got the correct depth, then you can proceed in drilling down into the chair leg. So once you've now done all 4 chair legs, then the next stage is to think about tapping the tack into it. So I've done 3 already on this chair, so I've got my final tack to do. What I'm going to hit it with is, I'm not going to hit it with a hammer, I'm going to hit it with a mallet. And it's a rubber mallet, it's not heavy, for 2 reasons. It's quite light, and I only want to tap it in lightly to make sure everything's okay. And also it's got quite a big head on it, because if you use a small hammer with a small head, there's a chance that you might cockle over and actually miss where you're hitting. So the next stage is on the tack, to help me to guide it into the hole, I actually use a little bit of candle wax, and I push the tack into the candle and I swing it around to get some candle wax on the pin. This will help to get it in. It's a lot smoother, make it a lot smoother and easier to guide in. So that's another tip for you. And then of course I've got to hold it, so I don't particularly want to hit my fingers. So what I do is, I have a piece of cardboard, roughly 5 or 6 inches long. It's not the material how long it is, and 1 inch or so wide. And then what I do is I push a hole into the cardboard with the tack, about 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch from the end, and then I cut from the edge right up to that hole, so there's a gap there. So what I can do then is I can push the tack in. So I've now got something to hold the tack, my fingers are away, and you can use this on any nail, screw, anything you want to do to make sure you don't hit your fingers. And then carefully I put it over the hole, just gently push the tip into it, have a quick look to see if it's going at the right angle. It will guide itself in. Now that's holding it, but I'll still hold it with the piece of cardboard. And then with the mallet, just gently, don't need to be hard, and that should just guide itself in. So this is going in nicely. I don't want it fully home just yet, because I've got to remove the cardboard, which just pulls straight out. As simple as that. And then of course, just hold it gently, and then I can tap it gently. Feel it. And there we are. It's as simple as that. So never be afraid to have a go. It is not as hard as it looks. Thank you.